character, and every character in this story has a very significance to their name, and all the historic characters I did research, they're all real people in history. So the names are significant, and the main character's name is Horace, and he's from Michigan, just like you guys are. And, oh yeah, go Michigan, that's right. I hope your arm heals, right? So he's from Michigan as well. He's actually in 6th grade. It's the first week of school. He's in the class, and the principal shows up at the room. Principal takes him out of class. He thinks it has to do with something that happened earlier in the day, and he's actually kind of freaked out. He goes to the front of the school, and his mom's waiting for him. She doesn't say anything just to get in the car, and when he gets into the car, his 2 sisters are in the car, and they don't say anything either. Now, he's not sure what's happening, and he thinks they're going to head home. They start to drive to the house, but on the way, they actually drive right past the house, and they drive out to his grandparents' farm. And that's where this scene starts. His mom lifted the tape so they could walk under it. The whole house looked as if it had been turned upside down and shaken violently. Mail had been strewn across the floor, and furniture was everywhere. A pile of broken glass littered the ground, and a clock dangled by a single nail on the wall. Even the hallway, which he remembered being meticulously lined with antiques and old photographs, was now almost impassable. His mom stepped over a stack of books and turned toward the 3 of them. "Sarah and Lily, I need your help upstairs, and Horace, can you watch your grandma? We'll be right back." She pointed at the rocking chair in the living room. His grandma held up a pair of crochet needles in her hands, and her silver hair glowed in the afternoon sun. Through the window, Horace could see his uncle and Officer Williams still outside walking around the yard. Over the last 2 years, his grandma had started to change. Her eyes had dimmed, her laughter wasn't as loud, and her memory was no longer sharp. She had also become a little feisty too. At Thanksgiving, she accidentally cooked an empty tray in the oven for 3 hours, leaving the whole family with a turkey-less dinner. The doctor explained that these were all signs of early onset dementia, a disease that made its victims lose their memories one by one. Horace began to carefully navigate past the upended wooden chairs and pillows strewn across the floor. The living room looked even worse than the entry with its smashed furniture and scattered papers. He finally reached the couch after high-stepping a pile of glass, this one from a knocked-over reading lamp. It was hard to tell if she was awake or asleep. "Grandma," he said in a soft voice. "Grandma," he repeated, this time a little louder, but still afraid to startle her. He bent over and could see her eyes were open. She was staring blankly out the window at the yard. "Grandma, it's me, Horace." It was subtle, but he was certain this time she moved. "Grandma, are you okay?" he asked. She blinked again, recognizing his voice or maybe his words. There was a quilt on her legs, and he pulled it up over her frail shoulders. "Can I get you something, a glass of water?" He was about to walk over to the kitchen when she started speaking. "Horace," she said. Her voice was warm, just like always, but underneath was an almost unnoticeable quiver. "Thank goodness you're safe." His first thought was about the fight at school, but how did she know about the fight with Seth? He reddened in embarrassment, but she continued. "They found us, Horace. I don't know how, but they found us." Suddenly, the afternoon sun fell behind a thick cloud, and the room was covered in darkness. This wasn't about the fight. "Who, Grandma?" His grandma's stare became more distant, and her words even more cryptic. "It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're safe. You must find the key." Now, Horace was the confused one. He anxiously bit down on his lower lip, a habit he'd formed whenever he got nervous. What key? He wasn't even allowed to lock his bedroom door. "The key, you have to find the key, the one that opens our secret door." "What are you talking about, Grandma?" he asked, but his grandma ignored his question. "You're the only one who can help. Find the door and you will find the boy. Help him before it's too late." For the first time, she stared directly at Horace with an intensity he hadn't seen in years. "Promise me, Horace. Promise me you will find the key and help the boy." After a long moment of silence, he answered, "I promise."